What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Javo, and I'm back with another video to showcase my new 2016-17 NFL roster. I've been working on the Browns and the Dolphins and Bills, but specifically I've been trying to work on the uniforms and the logos and helmets for the Browns and the Dolphins. I think I have them pretty much set. The Bills, Dolphins, and Browns, all the players are done, at least the first draft. So check them out. Let me know if you guys think these look good. I switched McCown. Well, I basically took off one of the Browns bronze players and switched him to RG3. I know it's kind of a stretch, but keep in mind, guys, these players that don't have medals, basically the bronze, silver, and gold tiers, those players still have abilities, I mean, depending on the player. So even though you don't see the actual medal on the field, like RG3 before had 3 abilities, 2 or 3 abilities, and he wasn't a gold player, a tier player. So just keep that in mind. Just because you don't see it on the field doesn't mean that they're not set that way. So if I show you, for instance, if I show you, let's see, someone here. See, one of these guys. Let's do Ajayi. So, okay, so he has no star card, but if you look at the abilities on the bottom, you can see he's got those icons underneath his name. So basically, the players that are still not stars, some of them have abilities. So you can actually see as I go through, you know, Tannehill has a star and the ability. I think he's a bronze. And then, you know, Landry obviously has both. He's got a ton of abilities, and he's, you know, he's got the gold star. So, you know, brick wall, look at Juwan James. You know, he's got a brick wall, but he's not a star player. You know, defense is pretty stacked. I think they have a lot of star players. But that's what I wanted to make sure you guys understood. So I did switch RG3 just because, and you can ignore this error. If this pops up, there's something just not set perfectly for this to match, but it all works from the editor. So I just ignore those changes. But I'm going to try to fix that, I think, if I have time, to make sure that it does work correctly. If you look at the Browns uniform, you'll see on the legs, the pants have the stripe, and I made the stripe half a stripe. So, ooh, nice run. So, the Dolphins and the Browns, like I said, the uniforms are set. So let me know. But the Browns pants, if you notice, you'll see. I'll show you real quick. You'll see that I put like half a stripe there. And the reason why I did that is because the Browns' new uniform has like a quarter stripe in length. It's very small, and then, or short, but then it has the Browns' name that goes underneath that without a stripe. So let me know what you guys think, if you like this stripe better or not. I kind of think it looks more realistic. Although the other stripe, I like the way it looks in terms of like the thickness of the stripes. So I know I'm getting into really minute detail here, but this is what I like to do. I like to make it look as close to the NFL as possible. This is obviously their away jerseys. You know, I like the home jerseys better. I always like them better, but yeah. So I'm just trying to test out, obviously, the gameplay and everything, but just keep in mind that these uniforms are all brand new, and I spent quite a bit of time trying to make them perfect. But as you guys all know, I mean, the editor only allows, I mean, the All Pro Football in-game uniform editor, you know, it only allows you to do so much. So I'm trying to do the best I can. I switched it to the Orcas for the Dolphins, like I mentioned earlier, and you know, they look pretty good. I think that they're they're nice looking. The Marlins one just doesn't look that great in my opinion. And the Porpoises one looks way too much like the old school logo, so I wanted to make sure that they were different, and different from the old logos. And I think the Orcas might be the happy medium there. So let me know what you guys think. I know that the head on the Orca and the way the angle it's going is different than the new logos. Those logos have more of a they have more of a thinner front to them. They're not as thick, like the head of the porpoise. And then the way the porpoise, the orientation of it horizontally, it kind of goes, down, and it goes kind of like down, and the tail goes up. And the porpoise's one is more of like a C, like an upside down C. So, but you know what? It's something different. I think it looks pretty nice, and I want to hear your comments. Let me know. And yeah, I get picky about this stuff because I'm OCD like that. I want it to look as nice as possible. So this is my game for the year. I've already seen Madden. Unfortunately, it's not going to be for me unless something magical happens and the game turns out to be a much better game than what I'm seeing right now. See if Tannehill can complete this pass. Oh, whoa. It's close. I also fixed some faces. There were some faces that were messed up in my previous video with the Browns. I noticed there were some that had generic faces. I need to double check the Dolphins to make sure that I don't have any more generic faces, but I think they look pretty good. One thing I'm probably going to need to take a look at too are the accessories, because I set the accessory colors to be certain colors like the gloves and the wristbands, but I'm not seeing colors. I think I have to set them to team colors. I don't know. I know some of those attributes or equipment types you can set to team, white or black. So I just need to be mindful of that. Yeah. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. I'm excited for this roster. It's interesting because when you have people like Rate Sports and other people doing your rosters, it's nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a lot of work, but there's something to be said about doing them yourself. I mean, it's really, I feel like it's rewarding. See, that's the kind of thing that doesn't happen in Madden, and I'm going to show you guys real quick. I'm going to show you a replay of that because this is something that at least in the previous Maddens, I'm not sure about the brand new one that's coming out, but I doubt they have this. But I pushed the button right here. I mean, look how far, and I'm throwing all the way out to, I believe it's number 11. And I'm not, a Dolphins fan, so pardon me. So Parker, I think, is who I was throwing to. And, he's pretty well out there, and I'm running to the right. So, I need to stop my feet, and then I need to plant. And as soon as I pick to throw it, which is right here, I'm probably going to throw a deep ball. I have all this space right here. And basically, in Madden, that ball would have been gone. But I pushed the button right there, right now. And all this time has to pass for me to unwind and get the ball out. And obviously, depending on the quarterback and your abilities, if you have a quick release, you could probably get it out faster. But I mean, I threw a loft pass, and it takes that long. So by doing so, you have to be very careful and talk about strategy. You have to be very careful with what you do in this game, or else you'll be sacked. When you're talking about throwing the ball, you got to be mindful of what kind of throws you're doing, and that's proof right there. Proof is in the pudding. So yeah, so what I was trying to say before was that when you're using the All Pro Football Editor, I think I got him beat, and I threw it on the run. Beat, brother. I saw that. Boom. So I normally set the Dolphins stadium. See, I was trying to hear what they said. So they said Greg Landry. So as you guys know, I'm using the names, the real player names. So I don't have a way to set the last name only. I don't know why it doesn't work. I've spent some time researching it. I've created a player in the game, and actually in the game, and I set the name, set the last name to something that the game recognizes, and I set the first name to something that it doesn't recognize, just to see what the game would do to that player, in the roster file, in the hex, values, and I try to mimic that, but it doesn't work for some reason when I do it with other players. So what I'm trying to say is that when I'm basically picking the real names, but the problem is they're going to say things like Greg Landry because I don't have a way to set the last name only. And that's a little bit annoying for me in terms of trying to make this perfect. Uh-oh, get him. But I'd rather have that because half the time they're saying the last name only anyways. So I'd rather have it say the last name than just say a number every time. So just want to share that with you guys. So basically, all right, sorry guys, I got a little distracted there. What I was saying, going back to what I was saying about the rosters, I mean, when you're creating them yourself and you're doing the uniforms and you're spending that extra time to make the game what you want it to look like. I mean, when you bring someone else's roster in, and this is no discredit to anybody else. I mean, there are guys out there who do great rosters, and I'm not discounting them. And Neff1, if you're watching this, you know that your stuff is quality. I know that you did a lot of the work for the Rate Sports rosters, and you really didn't take any credit. So, no disrespect to anybody's roster, but definitely you, Neff, know for sure, personally, that when you do your own roster, I mean, you're the person that's orchestrating everything. I mean, you're like the god building all these players. I mean, you are in control of all the customizations, the uniforms, the faces, the attributes, the abilities, the equipment. I mean, there's so many things that go into making the roster, and it sounds like, oh yeah, we know this. I mean, it's all part of the way you build it. But until you actually go through the motion of doing it yourself, you really can't appreciate it anywhere near as much as when you're doing it yourself. So when you download them online, sometimes, people make mistakes. There's some things that they do that you probably wouldn't have done. And what I'm doing with this roster, I'm taking my time. I'm going through it, one player at a time, one face at a time, one attribute at a time. And I'm really trying to... Yeah, that was nice. You see RG3 dodged a sack there, and he's got that ability. He's very quick with his feet and agile, and look at him. So, so I'm trying to test these out, see how they work. I am using Neff's, a modified version of Neff1's difficulty settings, sliders and stuff, so just so you guys know. But in terms of the roster, I'm just starting from scratch to see what I can come up with. And like I said, when you're doing it yourself, there's no question, if you're doing it right, that you're going through everything. The date of birth, the college, the height, the weight, the equipment. I mean, everything that you want to do at whatever level. I get crazy and I want to go perfect, but at every level, just, the animations that you're setting for the quarterback. I mean, everything about it. Uh-oh. He's gone. That was my bad. So, yeah, you see I'm talking, so, when you're talking and playing, it's hard to get a game. Plus, that ref was in my way. Bastard. No, I'm just playing. So, anyways, so what I was trying to say was that when you're doing it yourself, it's such a different experience. And you know, I'm not trying to sell you guys on the roster. You know, you guys, if you want to get it, you get it on the editor, the PC editor for this game. If not, that's fine too. But I'm just sharing my experience, and so far it's been a blast. I mean, it's a lot of work, and you know, it takes time. But once you get the hang of the things that it takes to make players and what you use to build your attributes, and you know how you research the different equipment and players and their bio and all that. Once you get the hang of it and you get like a pattern and a formula in place, you start to move faster. So I'm definitely going to be going through these faster as I go, and but I'm excited. You know, I'm really excited because this game, like I said earlier, guys, this game to me, you know, it's the #1 football game in terms of gameplay. And that's what I'm looking for, you know. You know, and even in terms of the franchise mode, this game doesn't have a franchise. And that's one of the things that it was missing, you know. But to be totally honest with you guys, and to myself, I don't really play franchise mode more than one year. I mean, I play like 1 year, and I don't really get into the the subsequent years because I really enjoy playing the exact players that are on TV. And I'd love to have a franchise mode, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think that it would be cool to have something that you can progress through and you can build your dynasty and, you know, try to see what you can do with your team. Me being a Buffalo fan, you know, obviously that would be great to be able to see what I can do there. But to be honest, I don't ever really get to the point of going that far. You know, I play one season and I want to see the real players, you know? So the fact that this game only has 1 year's worth of season, it's not really that big of a deal for me. Because, like I said, I like to see the real players in the field. The ones you see on TV are the ones I want to see. I don't want to see a fake player that was created in a year 2 franchise from a draft class that was fake. And, you know, players that are in college would be cool to put on there. If you're doing it right, you could do it if you have the real college players. But you know, I don't, you know, we don't have that kind of a feature. I mean, I think some years we were able to draft, for Madden, you were able to draft in the NCAA draft class. And that was kind of cool. But even then, you know, I personally didn't go through all that trouble. You know, I really just played like the first year and that was it. So everybody has their own way that they do things. So I'm not trying to, you know, to say that my way is the best. Trust me. It's, you know, it's all a matter of preference. But like for me, I just don't get into it. I just want to see what RG3 did here. So he was trying to get around. So he's got the ability to be like elusive. So he tries to do it, and sometimes he gets away with it. But I'm just going to play 1 quarter, guys. I got to head out. I'm coaching basketball for my son. So, you know, my time's limited these days. But wanted to share some more gameplay. Let me know what you think. I want to get the game down to be a quality game. You know, the teams that score high, I want it to resemble the NFL. The more defensive teams, I want the game to be a defensive battle. You know, teams that aren't that powerful in terms of offense and they're not high octane offenses. You know, I want those guys to be. I want those teams to struggle on offense. You know, so I'm gonna try to nail down. I'm gonna try to nail down the right balance here, and see if I can get this looking nice. Oh yeah, one thing I switched real quick with the Browns before I let you guys go. You can see the logo is the Red Dogs logo. And I kind of like that logo. I might switch it to be the excuse me, the the Bulldogs logo that's in the game. But using just the B, letter B, I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I want to see a logo there, and I think that there's going to be, it's going to look better with a logo. So let me know what you guys think about the logos, the Orcas on the Dolphins and the Browns Red Dogs logo. Love to hear your thoughts. So, anyways, I'm going to try to do one more shot to the end zone here, and then I got to roll, guys. So, actually, you know what? Let me try to do a field goal, see if I can make one from this far. I don't know if there's wind. They're going to show me the wind. Let's see. Okay, I got wind a little bit behind me. And this is one of the best things about the game, by the way. If you like to do special teams, and you guys all know that I didn't kick that too. I guess I kicked it perfect. So that's right there. That's perfect because I just missed it. If we look at that replay, I barely just missed it. So that's a 54-yarder. So with the wind behind your back, you know, with the right kicker, that looks pretty good in terms of the power of these kickers. So anyways, guys, I got to let you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out these uniforms. Let me know what you think. I'll give you a close-up view right here if you want to see, you know, what they look like. You know, I tried to make them as close as possible to the real thing. You know, the Browns are a little bit more difficult to get right because, you know, they have a brand new crazy uniform. But let me know what you guys think. I'll be doing more videos as I move through the roster, and but yeah, I'm taking my time, guys. I'm slowing it down. I'm making sure that everything looks legit, and I'd love to hear your feedback. All right, I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace.